Hello and welcome. My name is Christy and I'm a reference and technology librarian here at the Public Library of Brookline, and I'm here today to show you all how to create and submit a laser cutting design at the library. Let's get started. To follow along, you'll need a computer or tablet, some type of image design software, and you'll probably want a computer mouse if you have one. Not sure where to find image design software? Here are a few free tools that will get the job done. You can use a basic onboard program or app like Microsoft's Paint 3D, web-based design software like Canva or Pixlr, or an open source install like Inkscape. All of these tools have pros and cons depending on your project and whether or not you'd like to create an online account, but today I'll be demonstrating using Canva. If you'd like to skip the design process altogether, you can also find some free pre-designed laser cuts online at design hosting sites like Thingiverse and laser cutting forums like community.glowforge.com. Download or set up an account with your favorite design software, and then we'll get started. The first step in laser cutting is to imagine what kind of project you'd like to make. The library's laser cutter can both cut and engrave material. A cut design will be cut around the outside edge of the image you submit, while an engraving design will burn the material everywhere that's colored in on the image you submit, like this. A cut design must be black and white or black and transparent, but an engraving design can be any grayscale image. The laser will automatically vary the power of its engraving to try to replicate the shading of the grays. You can find a list of the currently available materials to cut at the library, what they'll cost, and any current limitations to cut and engraving sizes at brklib.com/makesomething. Once you have an idea for your project, open up the design software you'd like to use and create a new design in a size and shape that's appropriate for your project. I'll just be using a basic square canvas today. You can use text, shapes, graphics, and images in your design. Just keep in mind that you're responsible for ensuring that you have the rights to use any visual media you submit. The library may reject any project at the best judgment of its staff, including for copyright concerns, offensive content, or safety concerns around production, like if we're worried the project might catch on fire. Canva has a variety of free-to-use graphics, photos, and fonts, as well as a broader library of subscription-based resources. Today, I'll be using the software to create a mushroom-shaped charm that could be turned into a keychain or jewelry. First, I'll create the cut design for the laser. I'm going to resize and center the graphics so it's easy to work with, and change all the colors in the shape to black so that there's a nice clear edge for the laser cutter to cut around. I also want to add a hole in my charm so I can attach it to a keychain or necklace, so I'll add a white circle shape where I want the hole. Next, I'd like to add some engraved detail to my design. I could use different graphics for this step, but since my graphic includes some great detailed designs as it is, I'm just going to duplicate this page and change the colors around a bit. I can remove the circle shape on this design since it doesn't matter whether the laser cutter engraves over that area or not. Now I can experiment with different shades of white, gray, and black for the details. Any black areas will receive the strongest engraving. Grays will receive lighter engraving, and any white space will remain unengraved. Before you export your designs, take another quick look over your designs for these common problems. Make sure that your cut image is black and white or black and transparent. We can't convert a multicolored image into a cut design. Also double check your design for any free floating black pieces that might not come out the way you're imagining them once they're cut. This is most common if you're trying to cut out letters within a solid shape. For example, in this design, the centers of the A and the E in the name Kate would be cut loose with the rest of the letters. If we wanted them to stay attached to the rectangle, we'd need to use a stencil font to keep them connected to the frame. If you're including an engraving design, you'll also want to check the contrast. Of course, you can use shades of gray and even photographs as an engraving design, but for best results, you'll still want to be sure your image has strong contrast wherever possible. Silhouettes or clean, simple graphics will engrave much more clearly than busy images or graphics with lots of mid-tone grays. Once you've reviewed your designs, you can export them from your design software as a JPEG or PNG image file. For security reasons, the library cannot accept SVG files through our web form, so if you're using a design you find online, make sure it's converted to a compatible format. Finally, visit brklib.com/makesomething and fill out our web form to request a laser cut. We'll ask you for your contact information, the type of material you want to cut, if you'd like to add an engraving, and how large in inches we should make each design. Be sure to provide measurements with respect to the orientation of your image. You'll also have the option to request multiple copies of your design. Just make sure that the total area of your designs falls within any limits listed on the form. When you're finished, the form will automatically estimate the cost of your project based on your choices. If we think the actual job will cost more than what's estimated by the form, we'll contact you first to confirm before we start cutting anything. Otherwise, we'll reach out to you as soon as your project is ready for pickup at the library. Okay, that's it. You're ready to get making. Don't forget to check out all the tools and machines in our IdeaSpace collection at brklib.com/ideaspace. Thanks for following along, and happy making. Bye-bye.